Once upon a time, in a faraway land, in a Persian castle was a king named Ahasuerus, who reigned over 127 provinces, from India to Ethiopia. At this time, in the 3rd year of his reign, he gave a banquet for all his nobles and officials. The festivity lasted 180 days, a tremendous display of his power and influence in the empire. When it was all over, the king gave a 7-day banquet for all the people, from the greatest to the least, who were in the fortress of Susa. There was an abundance of wine, and the king had instructed all his palace officials to serve each man as he had wanted. At the same time, Queen Vashti was giving a banquet for the women in the royal palace of King Ahasuerus. On the 7th day of the feast, when King Ahasuerus was very drunk,
Attendants, bring me Queen Vashti with the royal crown on her head. I want all the nobles and men to gaze upon her beauty, for she is a very beautiful woman.
Your Highness, the king requests your presence in the throne room.
Okay.
The king demands your attendance in the throne room wearing your crown.
What? A woman of my impeccable stature shown off to those Neanderthal troglodytes? No! You get out of here. The answer is no, and you can get used to hearing that from now on. Can you imagine? He asked me to show off for him. Me, the Queen of Persia, show off to all the palace for that boorish, brainless. Her Highness Vashti, can't you just see it? The Queen Vashti, his little prize. No, sir, not me. I guarantee it. I will not be his trophy, eye candy wife.
Well, Your Highness, it seems Vashti has refused to come.
What? It seems?
Elle ne vient pas. She refuses. In fact, she might be more of a problem.
Do you know what a problem is?
I want to rule over this great wide empire. I want it more than he can tell. And for once it might be grand to have the scepter in my hand. I was so much more than he's got planned.
Banish her! A woman talking back to her husband? Why, her attitude is an insult to all of Persia!
after King Ahasuerus' anger had subsided, he began thinking about what he had done, what Vashti had done, and what he had decreed. In his wrath, he had banished the woman that he loved, and who, besides Vashti, could ever love such a beast?
Oh, I've had too much to drink, and I banished Vashti? Such a mistake.
Cheer up, King. Don't feel so bad.
I can't cheer up.
Okay.
Sir, you promised you wouldn't get that drunk.
Yeah, and you should have known that was a lie.
Fair?
And regardless, what's done is done. Vashti is history. Gone. Toast. I could really go for some toast right now. Mimican, Harbona, what should I do?
First of all, we need a new queen. One who has what Vashti lacked. Who does what the king says.
Provided she can make good toast. Sure.
And the woman who pleases the king will be queen instead of Vashti.
Here we are in the land of Persia, in Shushan, the citadel, in the shade of Uriah must where is Adonai. I am a Jewess from the tribe Benjamin, and I have never seen Zion. All my life in pagan land, near forgetting who I am, a daughter of the great I am. Oh, isn't it confusing? Just I and my cousin Mordecai. Is it now my faith I'm losing in this time of choosing? What will I do? I know my God is God of earth and heaven, the sea and all it does contain. Though his temple I've not seen, to Jerusalem I've not been, by his word I'll keep my conscience clean, and my testimony plain.
As a result of the king's decree, Esther and many other young girls were brought to the harem at the fortress of Susa and placed in Haggai's care. Haggai was very impressed with Esther, and he ordered a special menu for her and provided her with beauty treatments. Every day, Mordecai would take a walk near the courtyard of the harem to find out about Esther and what was happening to her.
Hadassah, you need to keep your heritage to yourself. It will not be of any benefit to you for anyone to know that you are a Jew from Israel. As far as anyone here is concerned, you're just a Persian girl named Esther.
Before each young woman was taken to the king, she was given the prescribed 12 months of beauty treatments. That's 6 months with myrrh and then another 6 months of oils and other such ointments. When it was time for her to go to the king's palace, she was given her choice of whatever clothing or jewelry she wanted to take from the harem. That evening, she was taken to the king's private rooms, and the next morning she was brought to the second harem where the king's wives lived. There, she would be under the care of Shashgaz, the king's eunuch, in charge of the concubines. She would never go to the king again unless he had requested for her by name. Esther was the daughter of Abihail, who was Mordecai's uncle. Mordecai had adopted his younger cousin, Esther. And so, when it was Esther's turn to go to the king, she accepted the advice of Haggai, the eunuch in charge of the harem. She asked for nothing except for what he suggested, and she was admired by everyone who saw her. Esther was taken to the king at the royal palace in early winter of the 7th year of his reign. And so we shall begin the beauty pageant, sire. Enter! And here, your majesty, we have a lovely lady in blue and white with delicate flowers on the skirt. Very pretty, your highness. Your thoughts?
Can't twirl properly. This one's broken.
Oh, we spent so much time on dancing lessons. Next! A daring young lady sporting mostly black with gold and red trim. Very pretty, a bit somber, but lovely nonetheless. Your highness, thoughts?
No spine, too quiet.
I thought she was rather lovely, but okay. Next! And here we have yet another lady in red, a little more red than the last. Very graceful, elegant. Love the frills of that dress, sire. And oh, she can spin.
Aren't you Haman's wife?
Sir, you don't get out very much, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay. Next! And here we have a graceful vision in blue and frills, lovely, elegant, class, and such grace, your majesty. Thoughts?
Can you make toasted croissants? Next, be gone.
Your majesty, you are the only one in the entire kingdom who likes your croissants toasted.
That is neither here nor there. I like what I like.
I know, and the kitchen suffers for it. Lord help us all. Next! And here we have a stunning vision in orange and fuchsia. Very lovely, your majesty. And what are your thoughts of this vision, sire?
Which province are you from again? Oh, heavens no. Get her out of here. I will not be associated with that.
I'm so sorry, sire. I have no idea how she got in. You'd think in a year we would have noticed. Next! Oh my. Your Majesty, here we have quite the vision. This lovely lady would be quite the beauty, wouldn't you say?
Perfect.
Excellent.
Can you make toasted croissants?
Yes.
Yep, sold.
Again with the croissants.
There's something sweet and almost kind, but he was mean and he was coarse and unrefined. But now he's dear and so unsure. I wonder why I didn't see it there before.
She glanced this way, I thought I saw. And when we touched, she didn't shudder at my paw. No, it can't be, I'll just ignore. But then she's never looked at me that way before.
New and a bit alarming. Who'd have ever thought I could be queen? True that he's no Prince Charming, but there's something in him that I simply didn't see.
Who'd have thought?
Well, bless my soul.
Well, who'd have known?
Well, who indeed?
And who'd have guessed it come together on their own? Wait and see, a few days more. There may be something there that wasn't there before. Perhaps there's something there that wasn't there before.
There may be something there that wasn't there before. The king loved Esther more than any of the other young women. He was so delighted with her that he went and set the royal crown upon her head, and he declared her queen instead of Vashti. Behold, Susa, your new queen.
So we're clear. The king walks through and you get him.
Yeah.
And while you're holding him, I'll say, "You lose today, king."
Yeah, you lose today, king.
What was that?
What was what?
Was that your laugh?
Yeah?
No, you're not ready for that. Maybe an evil chuckle, but not a laugh.
Guards!
Your rest is the best, as it shows we passed the test. We'll tie a rope around your neck and gravity provides the rest. You made plans to kill the king, but you forgot one little thing. The eagle eye of Mordecai, like a canary, he did sing to the queen who told the king who won't remember anything.
And lessons on the undisturbed his wares. You bought your own free pass, this trip will be your last. Your arrest, your arrest, your arrest. You have tried, you have failed, now you'll likely be impaled. For in Persia the method is the best. From us you'll find no mercy, pull your hair and curse. Your arrest, your arrest, your arrest. And this was all recorded in the book and of the history of King Ahasuerus's reign.
So, Your Highness, Esther is fantastic, and you look so different. Tell me, what was it like getting ready to meet her?
You look so
Stupid!
So, maybe we change the hair a little, eh? Sire, the maidens are prepared.
Esther saw me, and it was love at first sight. And now that I've got the perfect girl, it's going to be smooth sailing from here on out. No more problems in the senior leadership. Persia is set up for success.
I did all that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. One of my most trusted advisors assures me that all problems begin and end with women.
What?
Oh, absolutely. He told me that as long as I kept the women folk, or as he likes to call them, the wench folk, in line, that I would have no problems.
Who is this?
Sometime later, King Ahasuerus promoted Haman, son of Hammedatha the Agagite, making him the most powerful official in all the empire.
Pleasant surprise, aren't I?
That was just in your mouth.
Which only increases the value. Well, hello there.
You just kiss your own hand.
Well, of course. Kissing me and being kissed by me is an honor.
Haman, congratulations on your promotion.
Ah, thank you. Sire, it feels only natural to have your respect and adoration. My complete allegiance is to you, of course. Why, I'd do anything for you. I'd even kill for you. Please, let me kill for you. Please, Your Highness, you don't have to bow down to me.
What?
Brilliant! I'm amazed you thought of it. I am, after all, your representative, and a handsome projection of your power across all of Persia. To not bow down to me would be showing you dishonor. That's very kind of you, sir. Yes, thank you.
Sure, Haman. Whatever.
Thus, all the king's officials would go and bow down before Haman. All except Mordecai. He would refuse.
Watch your back, Mordecai.
Then the palace officials at the king's gate asked Mordecai,
Why do you disobey the king's command?
I don't see anything in writing from the king. Who said it's the king's command? Haman?
When the king's advisors brought this up with Haman, he simply responded,
A Jew!
Haman was filled with rage as he learned of Mordecai's nationality. So he decided the most reasonable course of action was to kill all Jews everywhere.
All right, when do we decide to do this?
I've got lots of dice. I've got a D12 for the month.
And you'll need a D31 for the day, of course.
There is no D31.
Roll away, little man. Excellent. And now for the day.
And the month and day selected was the month of Adar, on the 13th day, nearly a year later. Then Haman approached King Ahasuerus, and he said,
Sire, there's a certain race of people scattered throughout all the provinces of your empire. Their laws are different, and they keep themselves separated from us. And they read a lot of books. We need to kill this beast! Lead people, and I will make a decree, and have all of them exterminated. And I will give 10,000 sacks of silver to the royal treasury to have it done.
The money and the people are yours to do with as you see fit.
On the 13th day of the first month, the king's secretaries were summoned, and a decree was written exactly as Haman dictated.
Greetings, peasants! All Jews, young and old, shall be, including women and children, of course, shall be slaughtered, annihilated, murdered on a single day, the 13th of Adar. And the property of these Jews will go to those whom kill them.
A copy of this decree was to be issued as law in every province and proclaimed to all the peoples, so that they would be ready to do their duty on the appointed day. The king and Haman then sat down to drink as the city of Susa fell into confusion.
Haman, can you lean? You're in the king's shot.
Sorry, yes, sorry. That's better. I see on the monitor. There you go. That's a nice shot.
No. The other direction. We need to see him too.
Oh, right. Sorry. How silly of me. Yes, that's the word.
So, I've heard great things about you so far, Haman. I've even heard of calls for your own statue in the palace.
Huh? Yes. We talked about it the other day.
We?
Yes. You told me it's my job to make statues and laws.
What?
You said it as clear as day.
I told you to sign these statutes and laws, and this was regarding altering the fiduciary requirements in legal statutes of provincial governors over their adjacent but unincorporated territories.
No one cares about that. They care about this and this. Yes, that's what they care about. Yes, zoom in. More me, yes.
When Mordecai the Jew learned about what had been done, he tore his clothes, put on burlap and ash, and went out into the city, crying with a loud and bitter wail.
No!
As news of the king's decree reached all the provinces, there was great mourning amongst the Jews. When Queen Esther's servant came and told her about Mordecai, she was deeply distressed. She sent clothing to him to replace the burlap, but he refused. Then Esther sent for Hatak. She ordered him to go to Mordecai and find out what was troubling him and why he was in mourning.
King Ahasuerus has permitted Haman to have all the Jews exterminated across all of Persia. Here, take this to Esther. She needs to go to the king and plead that he shows us mercy and spares our lives.
So Hatak returned to Esther with Mordecai's message. Then Esther told Hatak to go back and relay this message to Mordecai.
Everyone knows that anyone who appears before the king in his inner court without being invited is killed unless the king holds out his golden scepter. And the king has not called for me to come to him for 30 days.
Esther's message was sent to Mordecai, to which he responded.
Tell her, do not think for a moment that because you are in the palace, you are safe. For if you remain quiet at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from some other place, but you and your father's house will perish. Who knows? Perhaps you are made queen for such a time as this."
Hatak delivered this message to Queen Esther. Then Esther sent this reply to Mordecai.
Go and gather together all the Jews of Susa and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. My maids and I will do the same. And then, though it is against the law, I will appear before the king. And if I perish, I perish.
Mordecai then went away and did everything as Esther had ordered him to do. On the 3rd day of the fast, Esther entered the inner court of the palace just across from the king's hall.
Esther, it is wonderful to see you. Tell me, what is your desire? What is your request? Ask me and it shall be given to you, even if it is up to half of my kingdom.
If it pleases the king, let the king and Haman come today to a banquet I have prepared for him.
Attendants, go and fetch Haman, and let it be done exactly as Esther has said. You look lovely.
Don't I? Then again, I was going for more dashing.
I was talking.
Oh, look, food! Let's eat a lot and then talk.
So, Esther, what is it that you have wanted to talk to me about? Whatever it is, even if it is up to half of my kingdom, just ask me, and it shall be given to you.
What is in this champagne?
My king, if I have found favor in your sight, I ask that you and Haman come tomorrow to another banquet.
Let my muscles hug you. So it's just as I said it would work.
What would work?
Why, getting the weaker sex in line. Sure, she's no Zeresh, but she is your wonderfully submissive, fragile half. Someday you'll be just as good as me with the wench folk. Not like my Zeresh, though. She really is something. Soft-spoken, always in line, never an opinion of her own.
Haman was a happy man as he left the banquet. But as he was on his way, when he saw Mordecai sitting at the palace gate, Haman became furious. Haman gathered together his friends and Zeresh his wife, and then he said,
No one hates like me. Seals Jews' fates like me.
No one!
No one's anger is as great as mine.
No one!
No one
Hates like Haman, seals Jews' fates like Haman. No one's anger at Jews is as great as Haman's.
Only 127 provinces.
The Agagite Haman!
No one
plans like Haman, gives commands like Haman, strives to sweep all the Jews from the lands like Haman.
I'm especially good at annihilating
The Agagite Haman!
When I was a lad from the line of Agag, I knew that I should have been king. But this son of Kish will not bow as I wish, so I cannot enjoy anything.
I've got it. Have a gallows built. 75 feet tall.
No. I know what to do. We need to have a gallows built 75 feet tall.
And in the morning, simply ask the king to hang Mordecai on it.
And in the morning, I'll simply ask the king to hang Mordecai on it.
Then you can go to the banquet with the king.
Then you... I can go to the banquet with the king. Why, Haman, you're as cunning as you are dashing. You know, she's not just here for her looks. She can cook, too.
So, Mimican, the king and Haman get along? The king and Esther get along? How do Haman and Esther get along?
Haman, well, it's...
Fantastic paperweight collection you have here. And to think, you use paper to weigh down paper. Haman, you did it again. Your Highness, there's only one problem here. It's the women. They're so silly. Such a delicate type, aren't they? So, fragile. So you're speechless in my presence, aren't you? I love speechlessness. Such a wonderful quality in a good wench.
I'll show you speechlessness.
Don't hurt yourself, honey.
So, Haman is a fair man. He treats all women equally.
Haman treats women as equals?
No. He treats all women equally. So, he gets along with Esther just as well as any other woman.
That night, the king had trouble sleeping, so he ordered an attendant to bring the book of the history of his reign so it could be read to him. In those records, he discovered an account of how Mordecai had exposed the plot of Bigthan and Teresh, two of the eunuchs who guarded the doors of the king's private quarters. They had plotted to assassinate King Ahasuerus.
Tell me, what recognition did we ever give this Mordecai for this?
Your Highness, nothing has been done.
What? A man saves the king's life and nothing is done in his honor? Oh, who is in the outer courts?
As it happened, Haman had just arrived in the outer court of the palace to ask the king to hang Mordecai on the gallows that he had prepared. The attendants replied to the king,
Your Highness, it's Haman.
Of course it is. Bring him in.
Of course.
Oh, Haman, just the man I wanted to see. Tell me, what should be done for the man whom I truly wish to honor?
Whom would the king desire to honor more than me? If the king truly desires to honor someone, then have the king's own royal robes and a horse that the king himself had ridden on, with the royal emblem on its head, be handed over to one of the king's most noble officials. Have that noble official dress the man whom the king desires to honor in the robe, place him on the horse, and have that noble official walk through the city square shouting out, "Thus shall it be done for the man whom the king desires to honor."
Excellent, Haman. Quick, let it be done just as you have said. Take the horse and my robes, and let it be done for Mordecai, the Jew.
What now?
You heard me. Get going.
So, Haman, how have things been going with the king? Making good use of that signet ring he gave you?
Yes, well, to be honest, we've had some miscommunications at times, but my advisors have assured me every good relationship has its struggles, if you will. I would never want to execute anything or intrude.
You wouldn't want to be intrusive? Then what would you call this?
Hmm? Oh, this! The king and I were, communicating about something when he fell asleep. So I'm simply waiting until he wakes up, and then I'll tell him what's going on, give him my opinion, and he'll go from there.
Interesting.
Haman, you gotta get out of here.
What, are you hitting on me or something?
Have you heard of boundaries?
Have you heard of this?
Have you heard of this?
Right. Well, you French folk have such an interesting way of communicating, now don't you?
Hey guys, what are we talking about?
What are you doing here?
I'm not sure. Harbona said to come on in here. Something about a joke.
You heard that, Haman? Mordecai heard the word joke and came right to you.
What's happening?
Oh, no. Shh. No, go. Haman's awesome. Go back to sleep. Haman's awesome. Haman's awesome. Go back to sleep.
Haman.
Yes.
Awesome guy.
Yes, awesome.
Awesomely honor this guy.
You heard the king, Haman. Let's go.
Haman then took the robes and put them on Mordecai. He placed him on the king's own horse and led him through the city square with the king's crown, shouting, "Thus it shall be done to the man whom the king desires to honor."
Let's get this over with. Thus shall be done for the man whom the king desires to honor. Thus shall be done for the man whom the king desires to honor. Don't clap. Thus shall be done for the man whom the king desires to honor. Here he is. Thus shall be done for some reason to the man whom the king has decided to honor.
Afterwards, Mordecai returned to the palace gate, but Haman hurried home, dejected and completely humiliated. Then Haman told his wife Zeresh and all his friends exactly what had happened.
Disgraced, rejected, publicly humiliated. Why, it's more than I can bear.
More beer?
Why not? I'm disgraced. What is that? Disgusting. No one plots like Haman or casts lots like Haman on the month of Adar, who takes shots like Haman. You call them lots, but I call them Purim. The Agagite, come on.
Who seeks the rain like Haman, but in vain like Haman. Whose loss will be Mordecai's gain like Haman.
If he is a Jew, you will fall before him.
By your own device, Haman.
I don't need you.
No one walks like Haman, whines and screams like Haman. No one follows me straight to the king like Haman. Okay, come on.
Disgusting.
The weather truly is crazy, isn't it?
I'm crazy.
Hey, weren't you the one who did the parade?
Look, Micken, how they swan over me. I
Swan.
swear. Honestly. Right. What? Another bowing to me. Mimikin, would you be interested in joining me over at the tavern? Look at all my trophies.
Some other time.
Very well. Yes, I do have biceps to spare. My gosh, you truly are beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
No, not you. The reflection in your eye. I can see myself. It's amazing.
You are so rude.
Rude. I give you the grace to look upon my presence, and this is what you tell me? Mimikin, we need to find some new wenches.
The king and Haman went to Queen Esther's second banquet. While they were drinking wine, the king again said to Esther,
Tell me, Esther, what is your desire? What is your request? Ask me, and I shall give it to you, even if it is up to half of my kingdom.
If I have found favor with the king, I ask that my life and the lives of my people be spared. For my people and I have been sold to those who would kill, slaughter, and annihilate us.
Well, who would do such a thing?
This wicked Haman is our adversary and our enemy.
I don't believe this!
Right? It's ridiculous. Completely unbelievable. We all know she reads a lot of books. Clearly has done something to her brain. Esther, darling, baby doll. Some misunderstanding, please. Why, your simple girl brain just doesn't understand what's going on.
Get off of me!
Please, Esther, any girl in Persia would want to be you right now.
What?
Staring into my eyes.
I'm glaring at you.
Blushing.
My cheeks are burning red out of anger.
Falling madly in love.
I don't think you're reading this correctly at all.
But aren't I, Esther? Staring into my eyes, blushing, falling madly in love. And, why, you don't hate me. I know you're used to seeing the great Haman in your dreams at night, and you don't know what to do now that it's just you and me in here, in real life. Why, Esther, you don't hate me. You don't want to kill me. I doubt you could bear to live without me.
I said get off of me, creep!
What? Oh, would you even dare to assault the queen in my own house? Before my very eyes! Guards!
Misunderstanding.
Haman, get down on the ground now! Hands behind your back! Any moves will be your
You're a
last.
foe and enemy, Haman. How can this thing be? That you'd be proud to attend a banquet of a Jewish girl like me.
Cover his face, he's a disgrace. Wicked foe of Jacob's race. He's fired now, and Mordecai the Jew will take his place.
You are frightened,
You are frightened, you are scared of the gallows you prepare. Now for you, 10 more too, they should beware.
You are a wicked beast. We will proclaim a feast for your arrest. Your arrest. Your arrest.
You are a wicked beast. We will proclaim a feast for your arrest. Your arrest. Your arrest.
But guys, come on, not that bad. Everybody sing along. I'm the best! I'm the best! I'm the best!
Your Highness, the man who saved your life, Mordecai, he is my cousin.
Wow, okay. Esther, you may have all of Haman's possessions, and your cousin Mordecai may have the ring that I once gave to Haman.
Thank you, Your Majesty, but what of Haman's decrees?
Yes. Write whatever letters that you want to in my name. Just remember, under Persian law, you cannot undo an existing statute.
Let's send letters out saying that the Jews across the empire are allowed to defend themselves and plunder anyone who attacks them.
Let it be so.
And the people of Susa celebrated the new decree in every province and city. Wherever the king's decree arrived, the Jews rejoiced and had a great celebration and declared a public festival and holiday. And many of the people of the land became Jews themselves. On the 13th of Adar, the enemies of the Jews had hoped to overpower them, but the Jews gathered in their cities throughout all the king's provinces to attack anyone who tried to harm them. All the officials helped the Jews for fear of Mordecai. He had been promoted in the king's palace, and his fame spread throughout all the provinces as he became more and more powerful. They also killed the 10 sons of Haman, son of Hammedatha the Agagite, the enemy of the Jews.
If it pleases the king, let the Jews of Susa do it again tomorrow as they have done today, and let the 10 sons of Haman be hung upon the gallows.
Again, let it be so.
The king agreed, and the decree was announced in Susa. They hung the bodies of Haman's 10 sons, and the Jews at Susa gathered together on the 14th of Adar and continued to defend their lives. They gained relief from all their enemies, but they did not take any plunder.
Mordecai recorded these events and sent letters to the Jews near and far throughout all the provinces of King Ahasuerus, calling on them to celebrate an annual festival on these 2 days. He told them to celebrate these days with feasting and gladness, and by giving gifts of food to each other and presents to the poor.
This would commemorate a time when the Jews gained relief from their enemies, when their sorrow was turned into gladness and their mourning into joy. The Jews accepted Mordecai's proposal and adopted this annual custom. Because of Mordecai's letter and because of what they had experienced, the Jews throughout the realm agreed to inaugurate this tradition and to pass it on to their descendants and to all who became Jews.
They declared that they would never fail to celebrate these 2 prescribed days at the appointed time each year. These days would be remembered and kept from generation to generation and celebrated by every family throughout the provinces and cities of the empire.
This festival of Purim would never cease to be celebrated amongst the Jews, nor would the memory of what happened ever die out among their descendants. The command of Esther confirmed the practices of Purim, and it was all written down in the records.
King Ahasuerus' great achievements and the full account of the greatness of Mordecai are recorded in the book of the history of the kings of Media and Persia. Mordecai the Jew became the prime minister, with authority next to that of King Ahasuerus himself.
He was very great among the Jews, who held him in high esteem, because he continued to work for the good of his people and to spread peace and prosperity to all their descendants.
Love more than time, from before foundations laid, apple of my eye, I have heard your cry, do not be afraid. The plans I have for you, for a purpose and a hope, my purpose shall prevail, my hesed shall not fail, it bears, believes, and hopes. Have no fear in man, what mortal flesh can do. Don't you understand, you're safe within my hand, I will deliver you. Though wicked foes abound, the decisions of the laws hold fast to no decree of any king but me. Evil plans will come to naught. Know that everything is mine. You, the universe and time, my promises are true. I will rescue you from the west and to the east.
Over you I sing, I'll shield you with my wings, so fear no man or beast.
Maidens, handmaidens, and gods, go ahead and take your vows. Zeresh and Haman's associate. Mordecai, Hatok, Memucan, and Harbona, and Vashti. Haman.
Whoa! Please, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're too kind, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. No, I'm not done yet. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Esther, the king, and Chip.
Mrs. Potts, the director, and Chip, and other helpers.
Really try to make it as if it doesn't sound like your fingers in your mouth. Like that's you're trying to articulate
I
around.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Keep biting my fingers. It hurts.
There we go.
Yeah. I keep biting my fingers. It hurts.
Yeah, see, it hurts. See,
Ah, so you're speechless in my presence, aren't you? I was not ready for that at all! Please tell me when you're filming that!
I'm a little nervous. You look just a little nervous, Gaston.
I'm gonna die!
I thought you said I was delicate and fragile. Why are you so scared? Oh, come on.
Little belly.
Here to the king, and then back to the camera.
About that. They care about this! And this! Yes! That's where it is. Going for the zoom. Yes.
Are you done?
Crazy, aren't I? Crazy, aren't I?
Aren't you the one who did the play? Or the
Yes, very well. Yes, I truly do have biceps to
I don't really need to do too much.
We're recording. Go ahead.
Why don't say it? My gosh, you truly are beautiful, aren't you?
Thank you.
Not you. I'm talking to my reflection in your eyes, of course.
You are so rude.
Rude? I give you the gift to gaze upon me? Are you laughing the entire time? Sorry. My gosh, you truly are beautiful. And you see your irises.
Stop it, you guys!
I'm in the iris.
Go inside.
I'm in the iris. Where am I? Dear, my eyes are up here. My gosh, you truly are beautiful.
Man, I finally got out of it!
My
Gosh.
Actually, maybe it's okay if they laugh in his face.
Excuse me, ladies, my eyes are here.